So maybe
is going to...
Hello, and welcome everybody to Inside Jacksonville, a production of the University of North Florida's Department of Communication and the CW17. I'm Matthew Farina.
And I'm Alexia Carrasco. We're here each month about life on our favorite coast, the First Coast.
This month, we will travel up the St. Johns River to the Atlantic Ocean to highlight some of the community's services and outreach.
You can find Jacksonville resident Kieran Sontag most evenings singing for patrons at various restaurants around town. While performing has always been a love of his day job is what he credits as being his true passion in life. Hannah Guile sat down with him at a recent gig to find out why his job has become so important to him.
Sundays at the Sand Dollar restaurant offer a special treat for those who stop by. Besides the good food and strong drinks, there's another aspect that might just make your night. Situated in a corner of the outside deck overlooking the St. Johns River, Kieran Sontag sets up his equipment to play a show. Sontag, a Philadelphia native, uses music as a way to connect with the community, but more importantly, as a way to connect with his students. He's the music teacher at the North Florida School for Special Education. After a chance opportunity to play at a birthday party for one of their students, Sontag knew he had come across a special place and wanted to get involved in any way that he could.
I mean, I had such a blast. That was one of the most fun gigs that I've ever done because everybody was dancing. There was not a single person who wasn't moving, dancing. I had them slow dancing. I played Adele, and that was when I really realized, wow, these are some incredible people. I wanna work with these people. I wanna be involved with this school, with whatever's going on. I think that this is my calling right here.
Sontag tries to motivate his students to find their calling, no matter what it may be. It might be music or teaching, but whatever the passion, he's there to help. Dawn Bowles, a former student, says Sontag was her inspiration to keep on singing.
I told him at the end of our graduation, where I finally graduated this year, that his music class helped me build up my music strength for me to pursue my singing dream for my grandfather that passed away a few years ago. He always said to me as a little girl, DWB, one of these days you're going to be a famous singer, and I will be right there watching you.
Kieran's passion for music and an extroverted spirit has helped him in the community. He's become an amazing music teacher and helped students like Dawn really learn to find her passion.
Before he was a teacher at the North Florida School, he volunteered to help organize their talent show. It was during a rendition of I Can Only Imagine performed by two students that helped Sontag realize he had found his home. By the end of the song, the entire crowd had joined in.
That kind of summed up like my mission. Like, I'm here for a really important purpose to help these students share their stories and their passion and their just incredible gifts with the world.
To find out where we'll be playing next, visit our website at www.unftv.com. Hannah Guile, Inside Jacksonville.
It's great to know that those students have a teacher like Sontag to support them. I think I like to attend the school's next talent show in March.
Murals have been popping up in cities all around the world. It's a way for artists to bring a sense of pride to the community. One local artist wants to not only bring pride to the city, but to the youth and schools with the Kids Mural Project. Inside Jacksonville's Joe Manuola takes us on a trip downtown to learn more about the project.
School can be difficult for anyone, but Nicole Holderbaum has found a way for local artists to bring a sense of pride to Duval County students. With so much violence and negativity in the world, it's not easy to find inspiration, but Holderbaum came up with the Kids Mural Project in hopes of empowering students and showing them their full potential.
If I can do something to help them, then I want to. And I think that by empowering the youth, they can escape poverty, overcome the oppression, and become people that will grow to inspire others in their community and kind of create a snowball effect, and the community will rise.
The murals aren't chosen at random. Holderbaum goes to schools and speaks with students to see what each one might be dealing with and to find out what inspires them. They then decide on a positive message to send to future students.
So I try to, teach them new words. So concept is a big word that I teach them, and we talk about what that means, and you know, how that means like the message behind the piece of artwork, and how sometimes it doesn't matter how beautiful the artwork is. If the concept is like, you know, meaningful, then it makes the piece of artwork valuable.
It can be hard for students to find positivity when things get rough, but the Kids Mural Project aims to inspire and empower through art, showing words of wisdom and that any challenge can be overcome. At schools like James Weldon Johnson Prep, students can have trouble finding focus while juggling advanced classes and the PSAT. But the Kids Mural Project has brought a sense of inspiration and happiness throughout campus. Art teacher Amanda Holloway talks about how the murals have affected the school.
Having something that's a little more expressive and free for them to share helps with the other stresses of homework. Having something that's just bright and bold and colorful and a little more loose than the structure of every other class, it helps our school maintain a balance that's not just strive really high, it's also be yourself.
These murals have painted smiles on students like Tamara. She expresses what they want future students to take away.
I hope that they interpret that school can be a happy place to express themselves, and like taking art helps you do that too. And like seeing all these different types of aspects and designs, it makes them like more joyful.
Holloway says if the chance is there, schools should take every opportunity to be part of this program.
I highly recommend it. I mean, the kids had a blast. Their pictures for years to come are going to be placed in front of those murals.
Joe Manuola, Inside Jacksonville.
I don't know about you guys, but seeing that art on the wall made me smile. I can only imagine what that does for students every day. If you're interested in donating or learning more about the project, visit kidsmuralproject.com.
And coming up next, surfers take over Jacksonville Beach to teach kids with autism how to ride the waves of life.
Also after, Bailey Staton sits down with the St. John's Riverkeeper to discuss new threats to the River City's way of life.
Welcome back to Inside Jacksonville.
Now it's time to get wet as our reporters dive into the next of our few stories.
It's not just a normal day for surfers at Jacksonville Beach. Instead of coming to ride waves, they came to include kids with autism in on the fun. Stephen Thompson reports on the sun and fun of Surfers for Autism.
If you think that a developmental disorder can stop kids from having fun, Surfers for Autism is here to prove you wrong. A nonprofit organization, Surfers for Autism uses surfing to promote the inclusion of kids on the autism spectrum. Today, they're here in Jacksonville Beach to prove that kids with autism are capable of doing anything they want, even in extreme sport.
The mission is to unlock the potential of people who are delayed, because a lot of people don't realize what they're capable of. And their capabilities far exceed most people's imaginations.
Here at Surfers for Autism in Jacksonville Beach, children with developmental delays get the support and guidance they need as they learn how to ride the waves.
This is amazing. He had four girls with him, helping him out there, and Mom was worried because him falling in the water, even though he can swim, it's still the ocean, and they were right on top of him, jumping up and getting him without fail every time.
The experiences that both children and parents have had for the past decade as Surfers for Autism have been nothing short of life-changing.
There are kids here that are going to speak for the first time to their parents who are silent because of autism.
My son was the first child that they took into the water at the very first event. It has given my son and I a family, a second family. There's people here that I can call anytime, and we all help each other. It's like a little village, and we all take care of each other.
Just letting him see that he can do something that he doesn't think he could do, and giving him the ability to be out here with all the other kids that are like him. It helps not only him to see he's not different, but I get to be with other parents and help other parents when their kids are stressed and having meltdowns.
It's this dedication to providing families who deal with autism with the comfortable, supportive environment they need that makes Surfers for Autism different than any other event.
There's a lot of events out there for neurotypical kids, and there's not a lot for our kids on the spectrum. So that's what draws me out to events like this, where it's just autism families and nobody's judging, and it lets them feel that they can do it.
Later on in the day, Hunter, and many other kids ride their first wave, proving that with just a little help, kids on the spectrum really can do anything. Stephen Thompson, Inside Jacksonville.
It's so great to see those smiling faces as they ride those waves. Thank you to Jacksonville Surfers for including everyone in on the fun.
A two-time Olympic swimmer turned a childhood trauma into a lifelong mission. I sat down with him to discuss how that mission has brought him to the First Coast, where he hopes to make a difference among local families.
When I was 7 years old, I went to a birthday party and somebody accidentally pushed me into the pool. Some of the people thought that I'm swimming to the bottom of the pool or playing around, but in fact, I was drowning.
While traumatic, Nim Shapiro's drowning experience as a child wasn't fatal. The national statistics on drowning, however, paint a much darker picture.
We have 10 drownings every single day in the US. The biggest cause of death for kids under 5 is drowning. But yet with these two shocking statistics, we have 58% of parents not aware of how dangerous drowning is.
Those statistics help shape Nim's vision for his swim school.
So our job as a swim school, my job as an owner of a swim school is to educate parents. And for us is to share the information with the parents, to give them a plan of how to make sure that their kids are learning how to swim. And it goes all around educating the parents so they're aware of how dangerous swimming is.
Nim's background as a two-time Olympic swimmer is why his swim school's curriculum is different than what you may see in other classes.
So our curriculum is very unique because of the fact that I come from professional swimming. I wanted the kids to learn how to swim. I don't want them to only learn how to float. We want them to become swimmers.
Nim said it's been hard for him and his staff to keep up with the number of individuals that have registered to take his Aqua Swim School course. But you'll notice Nim and his staff do a really good job of keeping classes small. In fact, there's typically a ratio of 2 to 3 students per instructor, which once again provides that personalized attention. The structure of Nim's school has already made a noticeable difference for one parent and her twin boys.
But they're more attentive, less all over the place, less hyperactive, and also at the end of the lesson, they have such a good mood.
For those looking to learn more about Nim and his Aqua Swim School, visit the Inside Jacksonville website for more information. Matthew Farina, Inside Jacksonville. Overcoming that kind of childhood experience to make it to 2 Olympic Games is certainly impressive. And who knows, maybe the next Michael Phelps will get his start with lessons at Aqua Swim School.
From years of neglect to a shine of new hope, the people at St. John's River Keeper are fighting to restore the health of the St. John's River and help keep Jacksonville beautiful. Our very own Bailey Satan takes us on a journey to see what it's like to advocate, educate, and stand up for Jacksonville's native river.
Fishermen, kayakers, boaters, swimmers. The St. John's River is home to a variety of recreational activities for Jacksonville citizens. However, the health of the St. John's River has been dwindling at a rapid pace. With the industrial growth, rise in construction, and decline in environmental protections, many of the river's basic functions are at risk. The St. John's River Keeper is dedicated to the restoration of the St. John's River by educating and addressing the issues that threaten its health and hoping to restore the river back to its fully functional condition.
Most of the work that we do is trying to stop pollution at its source to keep the pollution out, like failing septic tanks and sewage sludge application and things that fuel these green toxic algae blooms in our river, but also protect the river's ability to cleanse itself, like protection of critical wetlands and submerged grasses, which are the kidneys of the St. John's River. Probably the biggest threat is the lack of political will to take a holistic look at the St. John's and understand all the different dynamics. One of the specific examples would be saltwater intrusion. We are seeing more and more salt water going further upstream in the St. John's River, and when you have too much salt, it starts burning the submerged grasses and wetlands and submerged trees. And when you start losing those, not only do you lose critical habitat for our fisheries, you also lose the kidney function of those wetlands. You start seeing more erosion along the banks, and you lose flood control.
The St. Johns River Keeper also advocates for the river by advising and advocating to local government offices to make the river a priority in Jacksonville. One of the biggest issues that is threatening the St. Johns River is the future growth in the import and export industry. Dredging is the process of deepening the river to allow larger ships to make use of the waterways.
So we do things to help ensure that the quality of water in the St. Johns River maintains itself or is improving. The primary way they do that is through their rulemaking authority. They have set standards that must be adhered to. Part of what we do is also enforce rules that are at the federal level.
Just small steps can make a huge change in our waterways, and ordinary citizens can change the St. Johns River.
There are simple decisions we can make in our everyday life that will have a big impact if we're all doing our part. And one of those things is conserving water. You know, our fresh water comes from the aquifer that we drink. Also, the river needs fresh water from the aquifer. So it's really important we protect our fresh water source in Florida.
With enough help from the people of Jacksonville, the St. Johns River can be restored to perfect health. Bailey Staten, Inside Jacksonville.
If you like to help keep the St. Johns River beautiful, visit our website to see how to get involved and volunteer with the St. Johns River Keeper.
Coming up next on Inside Jacksonville, Tristan Reyes goes downtown to explore the celebration of pride sweeping through our city.
Also up next, it's all fun and games in Dungeons & Dragons when David Sweat stumbles upon throwback gaming.
Welcome back to Inside Jacksonville.
For our last two stories, we experienced the celebration of the LGBT community and the fierce competition of games from the past.
The LGBT community in Jacksonville came together to celebrate Pride. But what does Pride mean to them? Tristan Reyes asked local organizations to find out more.
Meeting in downtown Jacksonville, people from around the state gather for a fun, open-minded Pride Parade and festival. It's time for music, celebration, and being yourself. Many businesses and support groups from around the Jacksonville area came together to support the LGBTQ community and spread some love. Food trucks, local artists, and all kinds of businesses have set up their tents at the festival as a way of showing their support for Pride. Some of the organizations that came out to spread information and support include Baptist Health and Lutheran Social Services.
Baptist is faith-based, mission-driven, and community-centered, and we care about everyone in our community. And so we especially want to be mindful of our LGBT community members and show them that we support them and their families.
I'm here at the 4th annual River City Pride Festival, where artists, vendors, and organizations come together to celebrate the LGBT community. When we asked festival goers what Pride meant to them, they were more than happy to answer.
Pride means to me is just kind of like showing that I'm being proud of who I am, because I am out as a trans individual. I try to show my pride, try to show that I'm prideful of being LGBT.
Everyone asked unanimously agreed that festivals like these are not just for the LGBTQ community, but for Jacksonville as a whole. It's all about being open-minded and creating an environment of acceptance.
Allowing us to embrace our community, whether it's based upon our race, color, gender, creed, or sexual orientation, where we were born, that is the most awesome thing about this community when it comes together and it embraces everyone and loves everyone for just who they are.
Tristan Reyes, Inside Jacksonville.
For more information regarding the LGBTQ community and future events, visit www.rivercitypride.org.
Jacksonville residents are forming unlikely bonds in unlikely places, and it's all because of Small Deck of Cards. David Sweats went in search of just how these cards are creating such bonds.
Just off the intersection of the Boulevards Beach and South Side, there's a small game store hidden in a shopping center. Cool Stuff Games has been in business since 2003 and is part of a chain of stores throughout Florida. The store offers a plethora of board and card games, but it also offers a very unique experience.
Working here is how social it is. Like, we have customers, but they are here all the time. You're more interacting with them on like a peer-to-peer basis rather than just like yes sir, of course sir. You know, kind of just getting to be around the tournaments, be around the games, be around friends.
It's at events like these where over 100 or so people gather to play card games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering that lifelong friendships are made.
I was looking for a place to feel welcome, the camaraderie among the players and the people who come here. There's a sense that like when you come here, it's relaxing, you're with people that like the same things you like, you can talk, you make new friends, and you discover things that you might have not discovered outside of here.
Terrence has been coming to Thursday and Friday night events here since 2015. And over those 3 years, he has made some lasting friendships that he wouldn't trade for anything.
I say about 10 to 15 like real close friends, and I feel like anywhere you go, you're going to see at least one person you know from here. You're like, are you going to be there on Thursday?
These events are good for more than just great lifelong friends. They're also good for memories. Memories of a player's first win, memories of a player's 100th win, or, in Terrence's case, memories of acquiring a one-of-a-kind card.
But I open up my pre-release box, and the first card I see is the card I wanted. And I kind of dropped the giant F-bomb and had to sit down and crunch over to make sure no one saw me. But I was like giddy as a schoolgirl when I got it, and I use it to this day in all of my decks that I play.
Terrence is one of thousands, if not millions, of players across the country who experience these giddy feelings each and every Thursday. David Sweats, Inside Jacksonville.
If you're interested in what events are coming up, log on to coolstuffgames.com/Jacksonville and start winning this weekend.
Well, that's a wrap on this edition of Inside Jacksonville.
If you missed anything from today's program, just visit our website, unftv.com, where you'll find extended versions of our stories, photos, interviews, and other extras. Again, that's unftv.com.
You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at InsideJacksUNF. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next time on Inside Jacksonville.